While the main theater of World War I unfolded in Europe, its ripple effects reached far beyond the continent. The involvement of nations across the globe included the Caribbean, where Cuba found itself navigating the complexities of the conflict. This article explores Cuba's position during World War I, examining its initial neutrality, economic implications, and the limited engagement that unfolded as a result of the war. 1. Cuban neutrality. At the outbreak of World War I in 1914, Cuba was a U.S. protectorate, having gained independence from Spain in 1902 but still influenced by American interests. Initially, Cuba declared its neutrality, as the war's primary theaters were in Europe, and the Caribbean nations sought to avoid direct involvement. 2. Economic opportunities. Despite declaring neutrality, Cuba experienced economic opportunities due to the war. The disruption of European trade routes created a demand for agricultural products, particularly sugar and tobacco, which were major Cuban exports. The surge in demand brought economic benefits to the island. 3. Ties with the Allies. While officially neutral, Cuba had economic ties with the Allies, especially the United States. The American presence in Cuban affairs facilitated economic transactions that benefited both nations. The U.S. emerged as a major trading partner, providing Cuba with economic stability during the tumultuous war years. 4. Limited engagement. As the war progressed, German U-boats began targeting merchant ships in the Caribbean, leading to increased tension. In response to the sinking of Cuban and other neutral vessels, Cuba severed diplomatic ties with the German Empire in 1917, aligning itself with the Allies. 5. The Zimmermann Telegram. The infamous Zimmermann Telegram, intercepted by British intelligence in 1917, revealed German attempts to form a military alliance with Mexico against the United States. While not directly involving Cuba, the telegram's disclosure further strained relations between neutral nations and the Central Powers. 6. U.S. entry into the war. Cuba's shift toward the Allies aligned with the United States' entry into World War I in April 1917. The shared economic interests and diplomatic ties between the U.S. and Cuba further solidified their cooperation in the war effort. 7. Cuban contribution. While Cuba did not send troops to the European front, it made symbolic contributions to the Allies. Cuban sugar exports played a crucial role in sustaining Allied forces, particularly British and French troops. This economic support highlighted Cuba's indirect involvement in the war. 8. Post-war implications. The end of World War I in 1918 saw Cuba emerge relatively unscathed from the conflict. The economic benefits of wartime trade continued in the post-war era, contributing to Cuba's economic stability. Cuba's experience in World War I was characterized by a delicate dance between neutrality and economic pragmatism. The island nation managed to navigate the challenges of the conflict, aligning its economic interests with the Allies while avoiding direct military engagement. The legacy of this period influenced Cuba's diplomatic and economic relationships in the turbulent years that followed, setting the stage for the island's evolving role on the world stage.